If you are listening to this podcast, you're probably looking for something inspiring, something uplifting, and something to motivate you to be your best. And I hope Lessons We Forgot is that for you. But if you still need a little bit more of that in your life, and especially if you fill a leadership role wherever you find yourself right now, I cannot recommend more highly one of my favorite podcasts, Standing Tall, Voices in Leadership. My friend Randy Lindquist is the host, and in each episode he talks to one of education's giant leaders. Inspired by Isaac Newton's quote, "If I see further than others, it's because I stand on the shoulders of giants." His podcast uncovers the wisdom, grit, and heart that drive exceptional school leaders. In each episode, Randy sits down with inspiring voices in education to dissect their leadership journeys, tease out practical lessons, and explore the challenges they've overcome. From bold innovations to everyday resilience, Standing Tall offers real-world insights that any school leader can lean on, learn from, and build upon. And according to Randy, when we learn from giants, we all stand a little taller. And that's saying a lot from the tallest person I know. Leadership comes in many forms, from administrators to teachers to anyone who seeks to have a positive influence on the people around them. If that sounds like you, please listen to Standing Tall Voices in Leadership on whatever podcast platform you listen to. And you guys know the drill. Like, subscribe, follow, and interact with all of your favorite podcasts, including Standing Tall Voices in Leadership. And now, on with the show. This week's episode is all about the World Happiness Report. I put a link to it in the show notes so you can check it out if that's something you'd be interested in. I also make reference to another article. That too is linked in the show notes if you want a deeper dive into that one. This is Lessons We Forgot, and this episode is called Finland. Not too long ago, the 2025 World Happiness Report was published. Yes, that is a real thing. And while it is full of tons of useful information, the main focus for most people who read it is the ranking of each country's overall happiness. Once again, the Scandinavian countries all ranked in the top 10, and Finland ended up with the best overall score. The United States dropped down to 24th, by the way, but that's a different beast and something to discuss in a completely different episode. So what can we learn from the descendants of Vikings about being happier? And how can we be as joyful as our friends who live half their lives in what must seem like a real-life snow globe? Well, there are 4 phrases, according to the article I read, that for the Finns sums up their keys to happiness. First, who has happiness should hide it. Yeah, that one didn't sit right with me the first time I read it. Why wouldn't you want to share your happiness and spread a little joy? That's the whole point of my podcast. But upon further review, the meaning of the adage is more about not flaunting what you have. Living simply is the key to happiness, and collecting treasures won't actually make you any happier in the long run. So does that mean we should stop starting our meetings by sharing something positive? No. But we should probably all be a little more mindful of what our colleagues are going through, and that not everyone is able to share our joy in any given day. Next is the pessimist will never be disappointed. Now this one totally checks out. Our attitudes determine a lot when it comes to our happiness. If you expect to have a bad day, or a rough class, or a boring meeting, you'll probably be right. Going into any situation with really low expectations is a good recipe to get exactly what you're looking for. Fortunately for us, the opposite is also true. Thinking positively and expecting good outcomes is usually the first step to getting the most out of anything. Another one is everyone is the blacksmith of their own happiness. I think this one will track for all of us here. We know that happiness isn't going to happen to us by accident. It takes work, and it isn't something that can be achieved permanently. It requires constant maintenance. Finally, and for me the best of the bunch is, some have happiness, everyone has summer. While it's clearly a metaphor, it should ring especially true for teachers. We know that there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and we know that we'll all get to eventually exhale, and it's not too far off either. But, more importantly for our daily happiness, will we take advantage of all the mini summers we get along the way? Are we going to find the moments of daily joy, or will we let them pass us by while we wait for summer to get here? Thank you for listening to this episode of Lessons We Forgot. I'm the host, Chris Winkle. You can contact me at lessonsweforgot@gmail.com, and please do. I'd love to hear what you think about the show and any suggestions you might have. If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with a friend. That is the best way to help grow the podcast. If you want to hear more lessons we forgot, we post new episodes on Sunday nights. And when you like, rate, and subscribe to the show or leave a comment, that also helps the show reach new listeners. If you really hate ads like me, I do have a Patreon site, patreon.com/lessonsweforgot. For only $1 a month, you can get the show without ads. I'm offering a free trial right now, so go check it out and see if it's something you'd be interested in. Thanks again for your support.